We welcome you to the Fran Ryan Center for our Conversations and Coffee program on this 15th day of the month of January, 2026. Happy New Year! Hey! And Conversations and Coffee is grateful to be at our home away from home, the Fran Ryan Center, while our Cultural Arts Center is being renovated. And thank you to our gathered audience here for being with us today to celebrate our artist, Dale Bauman, volunteer here also at the Fran Ryan. Yep. Yeah, welcome, Dale. And his wife, Christina. Hey, stand up, huh? Yeah, wonderful. You are, Dale, an artist in woodworking, and you are a retired mechanical design engineer. Dale shares that at a young age, he would watch his dad work and complete wood projects so intently that Dale would mimic him with his own projects on his family farm. And after high school, making the decision to become an engineer was easy. And he continued to be intrigued by design and creating. Along the way, his life and career has made many turns, such as becoming a father to 5 amazing kids, and now a grandfather to 17 grandchildren. Dale's last and favorite career was with Stanley Black & Decker as a mechanical design engineer, where he specialized in hand and power tool design with 3D plastics. Once retired, Dale purchased a portable lumber mill, which has allowed him to travel all around Ohio, milling entire trees so that he could create specific items and design for clients, ranging in all sizes, from Christmas ornaments, salad bowl sets, live oak edge end tables, and entire property line fencing. Dale says that joining team here at Golden Hobby Gift Shop in 2020 has given him a creative outlet and allowed him to sell his wood artwork and crafts to such a diverse group. Dale shares that he truly enjoys his time here at the Fran Ryan and the relationships he has built. I'm delighted I met you in the amazing gift shop, Golden Hobby, as I purchased a beautiful work in wood that was a gift to my husband. And that's how I got to know Dale. And so, as people do go to the shop, they find these works that you have created, and I'm ready to buy another one. Yes, they're beautiful. And to think that often the wood is recycled wood that we were talking about in the fire results in California. And to recycle the wood that has happened from the fires is such a creative way and generous way to say back to Mother Earth, we're with you. All right, take it away.
I am not a professional speaker at all, so I'm going to start out. The wood in California. My brother has a furniture company down in Vinton, Ohio, and he purchased some of the live edge wood from the California fires to make into tables and mantle pieces. So the first picture here is from some reclaimed wood that I've started on just to make plaques. And Then this is, of course, a tree cookie that I made into a plaque. And then the flag. And this is a stand I did for one project. And then this is my grandson. A couple of years ago, he wanted to make some shelving for his bedroom. And so I had him, he wanted a river going down through his desk. And then we took the knot holes are not blemishes, they're opportunities. So we did that, and then this is the shelving in his room that we did. That's an 11-foot, 6-inch wall, and he did all the trimming of the wood, he did the finishing, so teaching, my grandkids. And this is a stack of future tabletops that I made, and this is my lumber mill that I purchased, and this is a 28-inch diameter log that's 12 feet long. And then I would roll the log up on my saw and then make it into all the pieces. And this is another project that I did in making planks for a client. So, traveling around Ohio, I would show up at a client's house. He'd have the log. I would make him the wood that he wanted, and then I would leave the sawdust and the wood. I'd go home with a check. So that was what I'd do. So I made this tables for our living room, the stair-step tables I saw in a store, and I just brought them. And while I was a mechanical design engineer, I would take pictures and make them real. So I will see something, and like the items here on the table, I would see an example, and then I would make the design in my computer and then cut it out on a CNC. But I also do lathe work, where this is a lathe operation, but this is Spanish moss in clear epoxy. So I not only work with wood, but I work with epoxy. So that's what the blue items were in the picture with my grandson. So there's some live edge items that I've made. And I did this for a friend of ours, tray table. He wanted a herringbone tray table. And this is epoxy with tree cookies for a flower stand. So this is an Advent candle holder. So I made the figurines for Christ, Joseph and Mary on the way to Bethlehem, then at Bethlehem with the baby Jesus, and then for Advent you use the cross that Christ is carrying and light your candles appropriately for Advent and Easter. So another table. I've sold 12 of these tables at Golden Hobby. Just sold the last one this week, or last week. So, and then on lathe work, this is a tree cookie that I took and I made eccentric cuts so that it would have another artistic flair. So just all sorts of items. This is another picture of my mill. Here's a better picture of the big log. So, and then I make other tables out of, well, this is black oak. The other tables were spalted maple. So I get to work with, this is honey locust. And then I don't know, maybe play euchre. Anybody like euchre? So I made some euchre sticks. Everybody says, what's Trump? So you can lay the sticks down and the side that's up is Trump. So, and then I did some count markers too. So, and then this is my glorious workshop. So, but filling, like I said, they're not blemishes. They're not blemishes. They're opportunities. So you fill the different items with different color epoxy. Depends on what the end project is how you fill. But then that's what it looks like when it's all done. So that ended up being a table and shelves. And then I have a laser engraver that I take, and you draw the picture and then you laser engrave whatever you want on the pieces of wood. So, no, that's one of my other tables with the other items on it. So then I did, my daughter had the regular plain mirrors, so I did frames for her mirrors in the bathrooms in her house. So and just put the mirrors, put those together. And I have different router bits. This router bit, I can make a 90-degree corner on, so it's more precise for cornering on some of this stuff. Makes it a very nice little box. So, and that. So now this is a table for, there's the mirror with the, these aren't really in the exact order, but that's the mirror frame after I got done. So, but this is the beginnings of a desk for my son and daughter-in-law. And another picture of the mirror frame. And then my daughter wanted a toy box in a closet right at the front door. So it's a seat along with, it's a seat for you to take your shoes off when you go in the door, plus being the toy box underneath. So now this is a black walnut burl, and this was, I don't know where I'll get to the other pictures of it, back to the desk. Now, this is the mold for making the epoxy. So down the middle of this desk is an epoxy river, so you can see the live edge of the epoxy in the middle. And this is a flattening jig. After everything gets done, you have to flatten the wood. So this is 30 inches by 8 feet. So I take the router and make a fly cut to flatten everything out. And then that's after I have taken it to a sander. And I use Rubio Monocoat oil for finishing the table. And then this is the legs under the table. I'm pushing faster than it. That's the legs again.
All this happening in your garage?
I'm sorry?
Is all that happening in your garage?
Yes. Yeah, that's my workshop. My wife and I have an agreement. The car is outside if I clean it off and have it warm when we leave. And then I can have the garage. Because I used to have the garage, I would put everything back away and pull the car in so it's out of the weather, and then back it out, and then pull all my equipment out and reset up for my projects. And that was getting a little too much. And so she said, well, as long as you keep the car clean and warm when I get in it, then you can have the car outside. So and she's very, very agreeable.
Enjoying that.
So, So was there another
Anyone
que-
want to make any comments, have questions? This is truly
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing.
So, yeah.
Yes, here, do you want to use the microphone?
So, I'm not as. How long you did your woodwork?
How long did it take to do the woodwork? I'm retired. I don't care. But it depends on the project. Some, like, going back to, working on the pieces of wood, you got to decide what you want the wood to be after. See, this is the finished desk. And this is 108 inches long and 30 inches wide. So the epoxy takes 3 days to cure because it's called thick set epoxy. Now, in this case, the epoxy is clear. Some of them I do various colors. So I have earth tone colors and the clear. But that project was probably 4 weeks. 4 weeks to do that project. And it just, whatever, being retired, I kind of, how did I get all this done while I was working? You think you retire and you get to not, spend a lot of time not doing anything, but, did you have a question?
Yeah. I want to say,
Let's put this microphone here so we can.
How did y'all build the bench with the wood and the pillow? The one with the
bench?
wood and the pillow. Or, yeah, the toy
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, okay, I don't have any pictures of my equipment. That's the bottom of the table, but, this is down in my basement. I have a room in my basement that's ventilated that I can do the painting. So I do the painting and the finishing in the basement. But in the garage, I have a table saw, I have my lathe, I have my CNC machine, and that's, you take the pieces of wood and decide how you want them to go together.
Okay.
Does
Yeah, I was
does
just
that
wondering.
answer your question?
Yeah, it answers the question.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I also wanted to ask, how did y'all do that? How did y'all shape it out?
This one here,
Yeah, how did y'all shape it?
this is a piece of black oak, and this is a knot. Well, I left this one alone, and this is just filled with clear epoxy. And then I put this down here. I matched up the cut, and then put that so it made it a long sofa table. So that's a sofa table.
Okay, nice.
So,
Good questions.
so
Anyone else?
this one was probably a week. This was probably a week to do that. Now, that doesn't include the time I took for the tree to cut the tree. There's another project, but see now this is a project where I made an end board, so that this piece here goes in this slot. Now that keeps the table flat. So a lot of times the table is living wood. So moisture in your room, the table will grow and shrink according to the humidity in your room. So you put a straightener on the end to keep the table straight. So,
That expression of living wood,
yes.
how beautiful.
Yeah,
And the
and-
designs of the wood.
Well, I love what God did to the grains of wood. In one tree, you have different, go back here. This is one tree, and you can tell the grain is different out of that same tree. It's just where it is up and down the log. Now, this tree right here, a tornado took it down over in Hebron. I had a picture somewhere here. There's the, oh, and then, yeah, I can make toys. I like toys, you know, the tic-tac-toe box there. But that was the black oak, a tornado took down the tree, and so one of my clients wanted some of the wood, and then I got some of the wood because they had more than what he wanted. So, but here I took, this was an older Adirondack chair that my wife's her mother had, and so the legs were a little too short. So all I did is I made the longer legs to put on the chairs. So,
Your degree in engineering truly is reflected.
yeah, you just copying what that was there before. You know, you have to figure that out. So, and there's the finished tabletop. That was for my daughter's dining room. So this is black oak, and she wanted it a dark stain, so that's ebony. It's Jacobine stain. It's a Jacobine dark stain for that one.
Did you also make the chairs?
No, I don't. I haven't mastered that yet. So, and then back to that burl, that black oak or black walnut burl. This is the mold that I made for that black walnut burl. And then this is what it looked like after it came out of the mold. And this is the finest, this is a knitting bowl for my granddaughter. So that's what that black walnut burl turned into.
About how many hours would you say you have in that from the time you have the wall burl to the finished product, roughly?
Roughly, it's fairly quick, but the longest time is the 72 hours for the epoxy to dry. It's a two-part epoxy, and I take the epoxy, I mix it, and then when I go back, when it's in the mold, I put this in a vacuum pot to get all the air out. So even the air in the wood, I suck out with the vacuum. Then when I release the vacuum, the epoxy is sucked into the wood, so there's no voids.
The actual turning of the thing to get the shape and all that, wasn't that time?
That was probably 2 or 3 days. That was 2 or 3 days, you know. And my wife took a picture of me once with all the shavings and all this stuff. I wear a mask. I wear a full face mask when I'm doing the turning because all that dust. So, but yeah, you can see how that, and then that turned out like that. So that was her knitting bowl. That's the bottom of it. And I have a cherry burl and another root, a cherry root that I haven't made into anything yet. I haven't figured out what's in the wood yet. So, but one of the kids will ask for something and I'll say, that's what that would be good for. So I made, a friend of mine wanted a picture of a friend's house. So I can take a picture and burn that on wood with my laser. So I put it in my computer, do the enhancing that you do with the program, and then just do a picture. There's a serving 3-tier server that I did, and it's just whatever you're gonna do. And this is a bread cutting board. Then I did another one with just loaves of bread on it. Then a round donut bowl. So you put the chips around and then put your dip in a glass container in the middle. So, no, it's fun stuff. And then this is anti-gravity. I did these, and the lesson learned on these, I used fishing line to hide the other string. You got this string here that's white, and I used fishing line on this. I failed to remember that plastic stretches. So now this one sold, and this one I still have, but the fishing line stretched, so the top of it is now on an angle, so I got to redo the string. So you have to engineer these things. So it's all fun stuff. So it's just a novelty thing to look at.
Not a piece of utility?
I saw one on YouTube. A guy said, he made this thing that looked cool. It looked like it was just suspended in the air. So I copied it and I put it together, and it's fun. Fun stuff. So then I made some plaques that sit on a stand like that so that the light can come through. And people said it looked like pizza. So it looks like pizza, yeah.
Is that pizza made out of wood too?
Yep, that's made out of wood. This is mulberry. This is mulberry wood, and then red, and then blue, and then green. So just, you see something and, oh, that'd be cool. I'll just try and make one. So, yeah, so you make it. And now this is another log that's going to be tabletops. So I cut it into 6-inch thick pieces, and it takes a year per inch of thickness to dry because I don't have a kiln. I put it in my shed. I have a 12 by 14 shed that has racks to dry my wood. And so that right there is going to be some tabletops. They're in my shed.
So it takes 6 years to dry?
Yeah, 6 years for each piece to dry. I have 10 pieces. So they're all drying at the same time, so it's still just 6 years. But then this is another bowl I did. Oh, there's the pieces, the 6 inches thick. But now this is a bowl that I did. Now this is epoxy with pearlescent earth tone in it. And so this is black oak burl. And a burl is like a wound on a tree, where the tree grew back over a wound, and it makes the grain go all different directions. So you can see the different, and then that sold here at Golden Hobby. So, and then another client wanted some bowls with black epoxy, and that's what that set looks like. So, any other questions? Yes.
How did you do the colors on that flag that you showed us at the beginning?
The flag, that's regular Minwax stain. So I took, those were out of maple, and then I stained each piece and then glued them together to make the flags. And then I cut out the USA for the other items. But yeah, I stained each piece and then put them together. So.
Feel like you're busy enough?
Oh yeah, that keeps me out of trouble. Yeah, yes, it does keep me busy. So yeah, I love working on the wood. My wife does quilting, and so she's sewing in the basement while I'm working in the garage. So
Teach here?
I don't teach here. I taught my grandsons how to do stuff, but I don't teach here. So
I had the same question. Are you not considering teaching? This is phenomenal.
I'm retired. I want to do fun work.
Tired. You truly are
I do fun-
rewired.
Yeah, I'm rewired. I'm doing fun work. Yeah, this is the fun stuff. So, and this is a table I did for a client, and he wanted it done black to match the woodwork in his house. So this takes, this is regular red oak and live edge, and then I stained it black for him. And yeah, you can see this is my garage, my tool shed. Oh, this is my toolbox. When I retired from Stanley Black & Decker, they gave me a toolbox. That's a $17,000 toolbox. And my wife was at Grange for 30 years, and when she retired, they gave her a cake. So we bounced back and forth with that. But this is my chop saw. You can just see a little bit of my planer over here on the side, my dust collector tub, and different things in my garage. But I just love what God did with the grain of wood, even stained black. Just that little bit of black. I left enough of the grain so you can see the grain. So.
It's in your garage, all your tools?
Yeah.
Your mill?
No, the mill is a portable lumber mill.
So where does that go when you?
It's outside. I have a tarp over the engine. So, and I did teach a friend of mine how to make a couple of tables. So he wanted some live edge epoxy tables. And so I helped him. He wanted to do mortise and tenon. This is a mortise and tenon legs. So this goes through the mortise, and the tenon on the other side has a pin. So you make a pin that goes down here. It's on an angle, and that holds the legs together. So it's hard to, yeah, you can see it right here. See the pin going through. Now that tightens it up so that this won't come apart. So there's a friend of mine, Tim, who wanted to make those two tables, so I showed him how to do it. So I guess I do teach a little bit, but so then I do. Oh, and now this, my other grandson wanted to make a river table, coffee table. And so he built them, we had him build a mold. He picked out the pieces of wood and fit them in there. And then there's Jeremiah. Now we did a layer of black epoxy for about 3/4 of an inch. Then he wanted clear on top of that, so you could see the live edge diving into the black. So.
Question here?
That's okay. This is a finished product, almost like on that card, Jeremiah did.
I'm going to get to it. This is a coffee table, and I have some other, this is my CNC work. I didn't get the pictures in order, but we'll get to them. See, that's this one. See, and I colored the flag and everything so you can see it with the mulberry. But here he's doing the sanding of his tabletop, and his initial is P for pool. So he wanted that on the island in the middle. But he's...
That's CNC work. You said it's my CNC work?
What's a CNC?
Okay, this is CNC. Computer-aided machining. So where I program in the computer the shape that I want something to be, and the machine head cuts it out. That's what these are. See, that's the flag before it was painted, and then there's the flag. So on the computer screen, you see the image. So I create the image in the computer, and then the computer tells the CNC machine what to cut out. So it's like an end mill. Now here Jeremiah's finishing up his table. I got all sorts of, I got 300 files, so. I did a trivet that I saw one time, so, and then at the dining room table for my daughter, for granddaughter. This is the dining room table sitting on one of my benches. And then that's the finished product for a dining room table. That'll seat 6. And there's more wood that I have drying in my shed. And then my granddaughter married a gentleman whose family's from Venezuela. So I did a Spanish, wood shop. So this is a wood shop of the Nunez family. So, and I did serving trays. So different kinds. Now this is my CNC machine. So there's a router bit right here that's cutting out the shape.
Oh, that's helpful to see that.
And then this is a round table that I'm doing for Christina. That fixture, this makes it either a round or I can make an oval shape with that jig. That's her table. So.
You must have a small fortune invested in equipment.
Well, when I sell things at the Golden Hobby, that goes back into my habit. So, yeah.
Black space, is that a popular? I'm sorry. Black is, okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, that's another one. I did it in black walnut. Then there's another figure I did for that. This I did, a kissing couple I did for my grandson's wedding. And then I did another one right there.
Hold some of these up so we can see the live examples.
Yes, they're there. Yeah. Then a couple of my grandsons like baseball. So I added the baseball player to the flag and then made a different edge on the back side. And these are, you know how they get rings for their tournaments? Well, they put the rings on these pins to display their pins from tournaments. So the rings from tournaments. And then also it has a divot for a baseball if they get it signed. So there's Jeremiah doing the bottom of his coffee table. And that's the coffee table after he got done. Now, we did add a feature, the top lifts. So they can sit at their couch. They just bring the tabletop up, and so they can have dinner in there. But you can see here, this is the clear diving into the black. So Jeremiah did a really good job on that. Yes?
How much would that table weigh?
That table weighs 320 pounds because it's real wood. This is all real wood, and it's got live edge on the front legs so that we had to integrate that dimension for the live edge in the front. Yeah, it's the live edge in the river and around. And this is 1.5 inches thick top, and then the walls are 1 inch thick. So, carefully. Like my wife always said, how'd you get the log up there? And I said, one end at a time. So, yeah. But on my saw, I would take it and wrap a rope around the log and pull it up on my saw like a yo-yo. So, using my truck to pull it up. So, but yes, he did a very good job on that. So, but yeah, you can see the clear where you can see the live edge diving into the black. So, all right, this is the table that's in the Golden Hobby right now. It actually was a mistake. And I did this design on a bigger cookie, but I got it off center. So rather than throwing it away, I made the edges center with the design. So if you make mistakes, just make it something else. So,
Call it Oh Happy Fault. Huh?
oh yeah, yeah, it's just, just change what your end product's gonna be. So,
Now, is that for sale in the shop? Are you selling that in the shop?
yeah, that's over in the Golden Hobby right now. So, yeah, I have 2 more. So, and then this is buckeye wood, this is cherry, and that is another piece of cherry root that I haven't figured out what they're gonna be yet. Oh, but no, this one did. This one ended up being another knitting bowl for my grandson's wife. So, that
What,
one.
17 grandchildren?
17 grand, yeah. 4 of them are married now. So, yeah.
So-
We just did another wedding in Florida. But now another granddaughter got engaged over Christmas, so I have another one getting married in Florida, and the grandson with the coffee table, he got engaged. So we'll have to figure that out. So another
Beautiful
client.
that you're a mentor for them in all of this.
Yeah, I try, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And this is another client wanted, instead of Grandpa's workshop, in German, this is Opa's workshop. So I changed the file on the computer and made that Opa's workshop instead of Grandpa's workshop. So, and then I did these for the Spring Sip and Shop for 2025 for Golden Hobby at the giveaway. So I cut all those out from Little Tree Cookies. Then this is the bowl right here.
Hold that up for us so we can see that.
Yeah, this is the one this is Spanish moss from Florida. So I just take the Spanish moss, put it in the mold, and then I pull the vacuum on it to get the air out. It's epoxy. It will break if you drop it. So, but yeah. So, yeah. Yep, that's a real bowl. So, and I have another one over there too. Yeah, go ahead, you can pass it around. Yep.
Something like that, Ron.
That one's 100 and, what did I put on that, 125? Yeah, the tag is on it, so I don't try to remember all my prices. I have to look them up all the time.
You have a preference on what you work on, as far as whether it's wood, epoxy?
Well, epoxy is $100 a gallon. So if something takes a gallon of epoxy, it's going to be more than $100.
When you're working, do you have a preference on what kind of material you work with?
No. No. I love all the wood. I love the epoxy. I brought some more of the Spanish moss back from Florida the last time we went down there. So I'm going to make something a little bit different shape the next time I make one. So, but yeah, I have different molds, and yes.
That 12, you showed me on there.
Yeah.
That's the same one made off of that.
Yeah, I designed it on the computer, and then so I can make more of them if I want.
When you running through it. I see it when you running.
Yeah, you saw the picture, yeah. Yeah.
When you use your CNC machine,
And most of my items are polyurethane unless they're food grade.
when you use use your CNC machine, do you have to sand your things down, or do they come out smooth like that?
I have to sand them afterwards. Yeah, that does have tool marks on them, so I do have to sand them. Let me go back.
Another question?
There's, okay.
How much the bowl cost?
Those were like 25.
Okay, I got one. Because I'm in my good church.
I think there's still some over in the Golden Hobby.
Wonderful.
If
So
they,
you're
if
going
they
to
don't
treat
have
yourself,
one,
huh?
if they don't have one, you can tell them to do a special order. And I could, yeah. They do take special orders on things. So, like this heart is stained with the Minwax stain to make it the blood red. Now, there is some wood that I could buy but then that would triple the price of that because it's heartwood from Brazil. So, and then, okay, and we talk about mistakes. I tried to take some pine needles from Florida and put them in epoxy. They didn't like the epoxy, so the white sap from the pine needles came out and kind of messed up my epoxy. So that one didn't work. So, but then I did another bowl that is thicker. That bowl is over there too. So now this is the mount for my lathe. This holds it on my lathe so I can make it round. So this is what it comes out of the mold like this. And then I'm going to make this one into a bowl. So a client wanted a mixing bowl that was 11 inches in diameter. So I had to make that a custom bowl right there. And that's black oak, and that's what it came out like. So that's the inside. Now this I used the food grade butcher block oil, so that this is a food grade product. With polyurethane, you can't use that on food grade items. So now that's another, this is the Buckeye. So I made this Buckeye wood the shape of my mold and put it in the mold. And this is my granddaughter's, my grandson's wife, my other granddaughter's favorite color. So, and that's what it looked like coming out of the mold. And making this on the lathe. So, and then this one. There I'm cutting out this is for the yarn when you have your knitting bowl. And then that's what it come out. That's Buckeye wood. That's
Well,
Buckeye.
Dale, will you come forward and hold up pieces you've created here and tell us about them?
Okay.
Yeah, so we see the live examples.
Okay, so this one right here, this is spalted maple. This is spalted maple. So, and then this is a more modern looking eagle on the flag. So this item is $35 over in the Golden Hobby.
Give you the design of the eagle, is that how you can?
Yeah, I designed this in 3D on the computer, and then the computer tells the machine how to cut it out.
There goes different sizes.
I can make it a different size. I've made them larger and smaller. You saw the flags. Those flags were 29 by 19. So they can be larger. This is black walnut. This is maple, just regular unspalted maple. This is spalted black oak.
Love that.
Yeah, this is my mountain man. This is my mountain man, and you can see the wolf in the background. Yep, there. Yeah, they're the wolf in the background, my mountain man. So, and then this one is for Veterans Day. It's to remember the veterans that gave the ultimate price. So, and then this is a fun piece. It's a gentleman sitting on a bench, and if you read the caption, everyone makes mistakes in life, but that doesn't mean they have to pay for them the rest of their life. Sometimes good people make bad choices. It doesn't mean they are bad, it means they're human. Well, there's a couple of spelling mistakes in this. So when you read it, you kind of skim over it, but then you look at it real close. Oh, it says H-A-E, not have. It says H-E-M instead of them. And so just mentions the mistakes. So, and it's a novelty piece. So, and you can, then I make coasters, for coffee coasters for friends that wanted something for Easter or just regular. And these are magnets for putting on your refrigerator, for Christian magnets.
What's the Christian magnets is?
How much are magnets?
Yeah.
Of these? These? You want one? You're welcome.
Do you ever use like a soldering machine or a torch your
What?
wood?
You like mine? Sure, I'm done.
Do you ever use like a soldering machine or like torch your wood?
I used to do it with a magnifying glass. When I was growing up, my woodworking, I would sit out on a lawn chair and use a magnifying glass to burn pictures. So,
Use the sun do that? Yeah. The sun.
a design?
The sun.
Oh, the sun, to do that one? No, that's with my laser. That's with the laser. That's a laser that'll do that. So, yeah.
Back to the seed, the pine that
Okay.
didn't work. Given how expensive that material is, you blew a big loss on that, did you? With the pine needles didn't?
Yeah.
Now, is there a way to test that and make a sample before you make a big piece with something new to see if it's going to work?
Sometimes you get in a hurry and you don't try, I can tell the machine to go in a rectangle and make something, but then as I'm looking at it, okay, that looks okay. But it was off enough that it wasn't right. So you can get close, but without doing a prototype, you miss it. So either way, I make a mistake on a piece and then I just adjust it, or it ends up right, then I'm good. So
You couldn't adjust anything with the pine needles.
with the Pioneer, no. Once it's done, it's done. Yeah. Yeah, that I went down and, oh, okay. 3 days later, you look at it and, that didn't do what I was supposed to do. So, yeah, the pine needle thing was chemical reaction. They didn't get along. But yeah, you can see the blue tint in the epoxy on these. I didn't want it to be an opaque color. So, yes.
What was your most challenging piece you worked with, and what was the largest piece you worked on?
The largest log that I cut was 5,400 pounds. It was 53 inches 53 inches in diameter and 12 feet long. And I had to use a chainsaw to cut off one side to get it to fit in my my mill. And what I did is I made two banquet tables for that client. And as a book cut, if you know anything, when you cut a log, when you cut a log, you're cutting lengthways. Well, when you have one side square, you take and flip that over and put it, and it's called a book cut. So it's like you're opening a book and putting it together. And they made 2 banquet tables for him, 3 inches thick, 58 inches wide. So each piece was 29 inches, so 58 inches wide and 12 feet long. So, and that
Is that the most challenging also?
was the most challenging one, yeah. Yeah, and then the desk for my son and his wife, he's a IT guy for Chase Bank, and then she's a teacher. So he takes up most of the side, but they work out of their home, so he's on this side and she's on that, so that's 108 inches long, and that's the longest table that I've made. So, but yeah. So here's another picture of that. Now this was for another grandson's wedding, and this is actually green. They sent me a color match. 2 minutes, okay. They wanted a special tint for the background. So I made this and I color matched what they want for their back. So they got that for their wedding gift. So, any other questions?
I was just reflecting as we look at the beauty of trees, the branches,
The wood.
but
yeah.
to realize what you have taught us, the beauty of the wood.
Yeah, God made all of this. All I did was make it so you could look at it.
Oh, that's
You know,
wonderful.
I take credit for making it so you could look at it, but God did the beauty in the wood.
Oh,
That's where we're at. So,
praise the Creator.
yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to ask, that's a pretty nice one with the cross. Are you guys selling those?
Am I going to sell some more?
Yeah, those
You want?
things.
I can make some more.
Yeah, if you can, I'd just like one of them.
Okay, I'll make another one, and you just check in the Golden Hobby, and it'll.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And I like that
All right.
tree.
So. Okay.
Dale, thank you. This has been amazing.
Thank you very much.
are amazing.
Thank you.
And to say that you didn't look forward to being a teacher or a presenter, he was extraordinary, was he not? Ah, thank you.
I'm not used to this. I'm not used to doing
Oh,
this.
you were great.
Yeah.
Yes. And again, another round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here.